Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukener certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
Well, this is it, lovers of World Sidecar Motocross, the full season in a 1-hour show, 6 rounds, 12 races, and all the action, blow by blow by blow, no talking, lots of racing, and it all kicked off in what has become the spiritual home of Sidecar Motocross, the Netherlands. And no place better than Markelo. What a track that is. Hold on to your hats, it's off to the races. Race 1 in Markelo, all to play for. Etienne Bax, could he hang on to his title? New passenger, brand new bike, an absolutely full grid here. 2 rows under blue skies, heading off into the first turn. Bax, Chermak getting the whole shot. The blue shirts of Van Lukener. Varick is in there. Veldman is in 4th place. Julian Veldman, Glenn Janssens. Massive tangle. What's going on here? Look at the traffic jam going into the corner. And right in the apex of the corner, Stuart Brown, Josh Chamberlain stuck behind Tom van der Leyen, Marco Heinz and Rudy Benchart getting away, the left-hand chair. Oh, Stuart Brown, bog last. Julian Veldman, Varick, Kurt van Verben, line astern. Bax van Lukener already away. But this the battle then for the final place on the podium. Early days though, as through on Varick goes Kurt van Verben. The 2 4-strokes side by side and over the top. What a beautiful track this is at Markelo. They're in pursuit of that 2-stroke, very fast Mega, the Austrian-built Mega 2-stroke engine. Julian Veldman has got that tuned to his own perfection. He likes it like a bit of an on-off switch. Good quick engine, but you need to be able to ride it. This kid can ride. Van Lukener. Van Lukener then, Veldman ahead of Van Lukener. So already on a charge. Julian Veldman, Glenn Janssens. Looking over his shoulder now. Has Marvin van Lukener got a problem here? The number 2. Former champion, of course. Kurt van Verben. With Ben van den Bogart alongside. Looking to have a good season as well. They're on home ground here, so they'll be going well in Markelo. The track here between the trees, you might think racing motocross between trees is a bit bonkers, but I can tell you, as you can see, the track over the years it's been used is actually dug out, so the racing surface is below the level at most points, so they have a bank protecting themselves from the forestry. Van Verben, Varick, closing now on Van Lukener. Veldman ahead of this chasing trio. Kurt Varick, the Estonian Finnish combination with Larry Kunas holding down the 3rd wheel. Well, at this moment he's holding down the back of the bike. Deep sand here, hard work. But through on the inside of Van Lukener goes Varick. Van Lukener not happy here for some reason. Koen Hermans, I have to tell you at this point, not taking part in the race because he had a heavy qualifying crash and was knocked out, and the official said that's it, game over, you can't race. Effectively the 8-day rule was imposed, which means cannot race due to a concussion injury. So Koen Hermans having to sit it out. Not so Etienne Bax and André Chermak, this Czech passenger for the 2022 season. Victory for them in race 1. Punching the air with delight. A great way to start. Etienne Bax in defence of his title. Good crowd here in the Netherlands, what we always expect. Julian Veldman on his way to runner-up spot here, he and Glenn Janssens. That'll do nicely. And in 3rd place, indeed, Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas. There they are. Could Bax do it all again in race 2? Well, first and foremost, they have to get the whole shot. That's what it's all about. When the gate drops, then away they go. Tim, left ring over here on the camera side. No such bunching up this side, or is there? Yes, there is. And it's all the quick men. It's Van Lukenen, Van Verven's in there, Prunier's in there. Oh, Etienne Bax, though, whole shot away with it. It was a great start by Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard. You're looking at them now and they're chasing down the number 7 of Justin Kuban with Rodolphe Le Breton, Davy Sanders, Luke Rostang behind. Through the woods, high in the air, Brett Wilkinson. A good start to this race. What can he do? Having had a good ride also in the earlier race, bringing it home in 6th place. Wilkinson then on the left of your picture. Green helmet, distinctive. There's always a bit of pink in there. Brett Wilkinson likes a bit of pink around the outfit, the 199 crew. Look over the shoulder from young Rodolphe Le Breton as through on Justin Kuban goes Brett Wilkinson. The left-hand chair working well here. Over the top there. Hand in the air, that looks like a retirement for Davy Sanders. Davy Sanders out of it. Red flag then. Big stoppage here. What's this all about? Red flag. Is it a result declared? Kurt Varick, he's looking good. Here Larry Kunas looking around. They don't know what's happening either. Red flag is out. 10 minutes left to go. Result declared. The incident was to Kurt Van Verven, Ben van den Bogart, obviously making up lost ground, charging from being delayed at the start, fighting their way through, came unstuck. So a big crash for Kurt Van Verven, but no serious injury. So we hope he'll be fit to go to the next round in Loket. They're the stricken bike trackside, but victory for Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak.
Yeah, it's for us. It's amazing. First GP. We had good progress all winter. We make a lot on the practice. We make a lot on the bike, and now we make a great result. Yeah? And what we need more, it was amazing 2 whole shots during the day, and I think if I see the first race of the GP, then we can thinking of the title.
Well, a maximum, you can't do better than that on home ground. Etienne Bax, Andre Chermak. Varick, good start to his season. Brett Wilkinson, come on boys. What a good result for him and Joe Millard. Van Verven credited with points in race 2. Veldman, Byers, Jake Brown, Kuban and Heinze, despite that race 1, in the top 10 in the overall. Good enough. Further down the order, lots of work for these guys to do. Bit of a disaster for Marvin Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax in race 2. It's on to Loket in the Czech Republic for round 2. The teams arriving from the Netherlands, full of elation. A lot of them full of hope here. Will Czech be their magic hunting ground? I wonder. The track, though, hard pack, going to be a different ball game here, boys. Scenery spectacular, weather even better. What more could we ask for? Well, I tell you, a bit of racing would help. A great track here. Veldman, Janssens leap out of the gate. But look at that on the front. Daniel Willemsen with Rodolphe Le Breton alongside the young Frenchman gets the whole shot ahead of Etienne Bax. That looked like Marco Heinze and Rudy Betchart on the left-hand chair on the right-hand side as they sweep past the terracing the grandstand. Willemsen leads, Bax in second. Then it is Heinze. Then it's Marvin Van Lukenen. Then it's Kurt Van Verven and Ben van den Bogart. None the worse apparently for their upset in the Netherlands. But Willemsen and the young Frenchman very quickly relegated into second place by Bax and Chermak on a mission here. Don't forget, Andre Chermak on home ground here in front of his adoring Czech fans. Great weather, great hard-packed track. Rudy Betchart, Marco Heinze with Marvin van Lukener and Robbie Bax breathing down their necks. Heinze, well, he's the best of the Swiss we've seen for many, many years. Once so dominant, of course, in this sport. Decades ago, and we've not really seen that level of Swiss competition since. And are we seeing it in Marco Heinze? Well, he's making good fist of it here. Van Lukener, Robbie Bax. Robbie Bax, consummate professional, just slides over to the left, sits on the back wheel, round they go, and past Marco Heinze. Veldman and Janssens, 31, stalking down now the Swiss. Great track here. Number 9, Bernie Sanders. And what's that? That's Veldman. Veldman stuck on the corner. The Mega died. He's going to have to fire that up again, but oh, look over the shoulder, hand in the air. Van Lukener, Robbie Bax in trouble. They're out of it. So a problem for them. That's not good news so early in the season, and it's a short season. 6 rounds, 12 races. You do not want a DNF. Just look at Willemsen though, look over the shoulder, being passed by a charging Koen Hermans and Nicolas Mousset in their all-white top strip. Hermans Mousset did not score in the Netherlands due to the fact they were unable to compete because of a concussion injury, so they've got the opportunity to make up ground here, as indeed do Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard, the left-hand chair, the green and pink, ahead of Marco Heinze now, going well. Wilkinson emerged from Markelo in 3rd place overall, so best start to a season they've had. Number 3, Hermans. Here, Nicolas Mousset. A lot of ground to catch up, and a great track to do it on here at Loket. See the track winding out over the hill. You can see the sunset and the great action we're seeing. Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, number 11. Getting back in the groove here in Loket on a very different sort of going. Good crowd as well, here to support the man on the back of the lead bike, Andre Cermak, who's now got Koen Hermans and Nicolas Mousset for company, and a very, very strong Koen Hermans and Nicolas Mousset for company, and they slide through, and now Julian Veldman, Glenn Janssens are on the case of Bax and Cermak. These are the top 3. Well into this race now. Final lap. So who's going to bring it home? Is Bax going to hang on to 2nd place? Veldman then looking strong. Checkered flag it is for Hermans. Waiting for Etienne Bax to come over in 2nd place. Koen Hermans, Nicolas Mousset. Here it is, Bax and Cermak, runners up. Where's Veldman gone? No Veldman. Here's 3rd place. Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart in 3rd. So Veldman having fallen by the wayside in the closing stages. 3rd place it is for Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, albeit a good few seconds adrift. Good solid result for Etienne Bax in race 1. What can he do then? Marvin van Lukener retired. Julian Veldman retired. What can they do this time? Let's see. As the gate drops, racing, and once more, it's Daniel Willemsen on the outside. A good look by Veldman. Veldman fighting through and pushing Daniel Willemsen wide this time. Over the whoops they go, past the grandstand, past the terracing where all the crowd are. Etienne Bax and Veldman vying for the lead. Bax it is, out in front. Van Lukener in 3rd place. Stuart Brown and Josh Chamberlain, better start for them this time. Not having a strong start to the season. They've got a lot of catching up to do. Gert Barrett, Larry Kunas, ahead of Brown and Chamberlain, and Bax out of it. Bax and Cermak a mechanical problem there, so they are out of it. Well into this race now, and it's been an absolute catastrophe for Etienne Bax, who's been forced to the sidelines with a mechanical problem. And we are deep into the closing stages. We can only give you snapshots of these races. We've got 12 races to cram in to this show, so you're only going to get the good bits. And there were lots and lots of good bits left on the cutting room floor, I can promise you. A good result in race 2 for Veldman, on his way to victory here. He and Glenn Janssens finishing strongly ahead of Hermans and Van Lukenen, Barrick, Wilkinson and Brown. Victory it was then for Veldman and Janssens. Didn't really get a chance to get our breaths around that one, did we? Short and sweet, but well, a good ride by Veldman and Janssens. That'll do nicely. Hermans coming home in second place. Such was Veldman's dominance in this race 2 here at Lommel.
Yeah, it was, but the second heat we couldn't find a good rhythm, so it was not easy to follow, but we always say you have to finish the race, and we did it, and so we could pass Bach, so yeah, it's really good for us, and it will stay motivated for us. Now I believe more in the championship. We always say it's still possible. Everyone can have mechanic problems or something else, but yeah, you don't hope, but it's always possible, so yeah, we will do our best to still reach my goal.
And there it is, that's put him in a strong position. Etienne Bax in a 3-point lead over Varick. Gert van Verven strong, 1 point ahead of Veldman. Wilkinson still in the hunt. Kuban, Hermans then, now up to 7th. Heinze, Prunier, Stuart Brown and Josh in the top 10. Van Lukenen still work to do. The retirement did them no favours at all. They're ahead of Foden and Kuban. 8 kilometres from Etienne Bax's hometown is Lommel. So he's almost an adopted Belgian. He knows this track inside out, has a strong following here. What can he do in the deep sand of Lommel to hang on to that slender championship lead? Well, we were here in force, the crowds were here in force, and more importantly, so were the crews out at the Lommel track. And what a track that is. Deep sand, always going to be a challenge here. Good lineup on the gate, away they went then, and the local men featuring strongly as you would expect. But Etienne Bax, Andre Chermak once more took that 640cc Husqvarna into a hole shot and led the pack round race 1. Willemsen and Le Breton in the top 6. Another good start by Van Lukenen, and a good start too by Veldman. So you would expect those young guys to go well in these conditions. Hermans Muset very much up there as well. Coming out of Loket in the top 7, so the title's still very much on for these guys. With work to do for Van Lukenen. Varick strongly starting this season, without a doubt. Varick and Kunas. And Etienne Bax leading the pack round here. Willemsen Le Breton, the young Frenchman, getting his, not his first taste of the deep sand, because he was in Markelo with Justin Kuban. But they are ahead of Hermans and Muset. Veldman next. And Stuart Brown, Josh Chamberlain getting a good start. And Van Lukenen passing them very, very swiftly on the right hand. Good crowd here in Lommel, and Etienne Bax knows that a good result here at the halfway stage of the season would put him on target for a good overall result. So that's what he was planning to do. Julian Veldman and Glenn Janssens, of course, had other ideas, and they were already making their way through. Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas, self-confessed not sand experts. Varick prefers the hard pack, but he was making a good showing here in Lommel and a good place in the World Championship standings as well. Victory it was then for Etienne Bax and André Cermak in the opening encounter. 30 minutes and 2 laps flashing before your very eyes in a matter of a couple of minutes. But as I said earlier, there's an awful lot to get into this show. We can only show you the best bits, and this was a good bit for Bax, and it was a good bit for Veldman. They were to get runner-up spots ahead of Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas. They could be very, very pleased with that, having beaten Van Lukene into 4th place. More of the same would it be? Bax knew he'd have to get a good hole shot here if he was to bring it home in the lead again, but Koen Hermans looking up the inside and tipped it over. That was no way to start. Bax and Hermans locked together as a result of Etienne Bax going in just a bit too hot. That left Kurt Varick, the surprise leader in this one, but he'd have a whole bevy of locals, Van Lukene and Veldman included, chewing at his back wheel. Another good start by Willemsen kept him at the front. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard was strong as well in this one. Could they bring it home in the top 6? Well, as it happened, they were to do exactly that. But there was drama already. A few crews getting stuck and slowing down the progress as the yellow flags came out. Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Le Breton ahead of Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard at this point in the proceedings. This was not the fastest of Grand Prix. Lommel, a difficult track. You can see for yourselves just how much the deep sand cut out. There was no jumping those jumps, I can tell you. It was a question of see who could bring it home in these difficult conditions. Never going to be easy. Koen Hermans, Nicolas Musset in trouble. Look over the shoulder. The home sand not being good for Hermans in the 2022 season. Through go Bax and Cermak. Hermans Musset damage limitation. Race leader Marvin Van Lukene. He and Robbie Bax doing a great job here. Varick and Veldman behind them, and then Bax ahead of Van Verven, with Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard rounding out the top 6. Victory then for Marvin Van Lukene. Kurt Varick in 2nd, but they're thrilled with that one. Koen Hermans less so, I suspect. Yes! That's what they needed. The rest of the sand-spattered crews coming through, Etienne Bax, André Cermak, kept their championship hopes alive here.
Yeah, we don't know if we are on the finish that we win the overall. So yeah, we never expect this. We was hoping for the podium, but yeah, this is amazing. We had so much bad luck already over the year, and yeah, I'm happy, and for sure for home GP, for all our supporters, sponsors. Yeah, the luck was on our side, and I'm very happy also for Robbie and the whole team.
Well, 4 points, still the lead over Varick. Etienne Bax has Julian Veldman, Gert Van Verven there. Van Lukene improved his standing immensely. Wilkinson still in the hunt, Marco Heinze, Koen Hermans still there or thereabouts. The rest of these guys, well, they all fight hard, don't they? Credit where credit's due. The second half of the season found itself right over in the northeast of Europe in Estonia, in Tartu, a beautiful city, would you believe, only a few miles from the Russian border. Architecture great, but unmistakable styling, wide boulevards, wide streets, a relatively sparse population, but lots of history in this part of the world, and an absolutely magnificent motorsport complex, the Moto Keskus Motorsport Complex, which was where we were for the 4th round of the 2022 FIM Sidecar Motocross World Championship. And what a place to be. But you wait till you see the track. The riders were really, really impressed. A mixture of hardpack and sand, and let me tell you, the first right-hander, you just had to hold your breath. It was so tight as they thundered round here. The ground shook. Etienne Bax, Andre Cermak shot into the lead. It looked like Van Lukenen had a flyer. Yes, he did. Marco Heinze there. In third. What a ride these Swiss boys are having this season. But Van Lukenen very, very quick. Etienne Bax had walked the course. He and Andre Cermak had a plan. Would that plan be good enough? Well, they lead. They lead here at the moment in Langer. But Van Lukenen very, very quickly took the advantage and got in front. And it was Kurt Varick, local man, being urged on by the partisan crowd here. Wonderful support for him and for Larry Kunas here in Langer. Just look at the speed. Van Lukenen was quick over that tabletop. Varick was quick over that tabletop. Etienne Bax must have known that he would have to up his game for race 2. Down into third in this one, Etienne Bax. Van Lukenen race leader. Varick going strongly here. Really pushing well. The cheers of the crowd at this amazing track, urging him on. Van Lukenen and Varick side by side. Van Lukenen holding the inside line. Varick cutting back in. Takes the bull by the horns, grabs a big handful on the inside. Varick into the lead here, the number 5 crew. The crowd absolutely going bonkers. Bax and Cermak find themselves in third. Tom van der Lagermaat, Robbie de Vena out of the running into the closing stages of this race. But it's Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas all the way. Victory in race 1 for the local hero. And the crowd absolutely loved it. Runner-up spot for Marvin Van Lukenen. Etienne Bax third, but race winner, Varick. Firecrackers, flags, you name it, they've got it here. Well, did Etienne Bax learn anything from race 1? The gate's down there and the firecrackers go, and away they go again into this very, very tight right-hander. And look at that, what a cracking start for Kurt Varick. Number 5, Kurt Varick, aiming to pick up where he left off, but round the outside, sweeping Etienne Bax and Andre Cermak. Koen Hermans, Nicolas Mousset in the hunt this time. Bax leads. Varick second. Van Lukenen pushing really hard. Then it's Koen Hermans. Then it looks like Marco Heinze. Couldn't quite see there. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Miller. Oh, massive crash! Brett Wilkinson upside down. Marco Heinze involved in that carnage as well. You can see the left-hand chair up on its side. Davy Sanders, Luke Rostang also tangled up in it. Yellow flags being waved. Dan Foden, Nathan Cooper making their way in a very circumspect fashion round the outside. The flags being waved here. However, race goes on. Gert van Verven, Ben van den Bogart. Number 11, TM powered bike. Thundering round here with the amiable Dutchman doing a great job. He's having a fantastic season. Etienne Bax though, Andre Cermak. Race 2. Varick now trailing. Sanders there having extricated himself from that way down the order. But here we are then. That's the way it is. Bax from Varick and Van Lukenen. Great racing here in Estonia. The crowd very, very appreciative. Etienne Bax, Andre Cermak on target then to retain their title. Certainly Bax's title, but it will be a first for Andre Cermak. But delight, abject delight from Larry Kunas.
Now, not feel it I don't know, not very crazy. I think tomorrow morning I understand this.
I was watching on live timing, and in the last 3 laps, you were closing Etienne Bax, you were getting close, and then, of course, there was that incident with Wilkinson and the flags. Did that cost you a win?
No, Bax is fast.
We know he's fast, but so you, this weekend, you have been faster than I've ever seen you all through the race.
Thank you.
Larry, what made that special? Where did you find the extra speed from? Because you were very quick.
I think it came all from the crowd. The amazing Estonian crowd, all the supporters. I think that's what it counts.
Certainly it helps, doesn't it? And this is the best crowd we've had all year.
Yeah, exactly. Estonian and Finnish and Latvian. The crowd is special here.
And now the gap is 2 points, 2 points only. How does that feel?
No, not easy.
Well, what none of us knew at that precise moment is that Etienne Bax was penalised 10 places for allegedly passing under the yellow flag, giving Kurt Varrick the championship lead going into the penultimate round. Drama or what? Absolutely sensational. It's turned the championship on its head, but it's set it up for a grand finale. We could not wait to go to the Czech Republic and Kaplica. And that's where we find ourselves for round 5. Wonderful, wonderful South Bohemian region of the Czech Republic. Again, the people are great, the architecture great. The motocross track out there, outside of town, in the woods. A typically hard-packed, fast track. We love being here. We love coming back to the Czech Republic. What will the teams make of it when they get out on track? Into the closing seconds then, race 1. Weather's great here, the track has been beautifully prepared. Etienne Bax on target for a whole shot as he races away into the tight left-hander. It's a bottleneck, a real bottleneck. Stuart Brown being shoved wide, going up the bank, but away they go, over the top. Bax leads from Van Lukena, the red plate of Varrick in 3rd place. Chasing hard behind him, Justin Kuban, number 7. So Varrick with the red plate for the first time ever in his career, carrying the red plate, but already drops a place. Kuban is on a mission here into the loose stuff. Then it's Koen Hermans. Koen Hermans in there, but Etienne Bax, race leader, with Marvin Van Lukena chasing him down, never really getting away, but they're on target here. Just this right-hander, then the left, the climb up onto the start-finish straight, and victory. Checkered flag awaits. Race 1 victory in Kaplica for Etienne Bax and Andre Cermak, clawing back that deficit that they came here. That's really put a different complexion on it. That's what they needed to do, and they've done it. Koen Hermans, Nicolas Mousset bringing it home in 3rd place. Good ride for them. Good ride for Van Lukena. But a really good effort and a cracking start from Etienne Bax. Could he do it all over again? Well, Varrick has seen points taken out of his lead in that opening race. He can't afford to let many more go. Only 1 more round and 2 more races to go after this, and that's in Germany. Into the closing stages. Watch Etienne Bax, how quick is he? He's really sharpened his A-game now when it comes to getting off the line, but nobody got off the line quicker than Marvin Van Lukena that time, muscling his way through into the lead. Koen Hermans goes with him. Justin Kuban, another fantastic start. Etienne Bax left a little bit in the doldrums, something like 5th place this time. As they come round, Koen Hermans, Nicolas Mousset firmly ensconced in 2nd. Bax having to fight his way past Varrick at this stage. Hermans then having a good look on the inside of Van Lukena. They're fighting tooth and nail. New race leader, Koen Hermans, Nicolas Mousset. Fast and furious here in Kaplica. What a brilliant season this has been, albeit a short one. Oh, Hermans in the deep stuff. Van Lukenen back in front. How close do you want it? Dan Foden, Nathan Cooper having a sabbatical at the top of the hill, just letting the fast guys go through. But those young Brits have had a good season as well. More to come from them. Just remember that name. Dan Foden in 2023. He's going to be there or thereabouts. Up this climb, Hermans ahead of Van Lukenen, back in front again. Hermans looking strong here, but Van Lukenen determined to do something about it, and he does. They get it over the line in first place, with Koen Hermans bringing it home in second, Etienne Bax third. That's enough to really, really do damage on Kurt Varrick. Here we go then, Bax and Cermak on local ground. Third place for them in Kaplica. Championship standings, when we get to that table, will be interesting. Varrick and Larry Kunas fourth.
I'm so happy. We make halfway the race a small mistake, and Koen can pass it, but he did just the same. He make also a little mistake, so we can pass him back, and yeah, we can take the lead and finish first and overall win.
Red plate still, only just. Varrick, Bax, 5 points will go to Germany. Van Lukenen up to third, magnificent. Gert van Verven, Hermans, Wilkinson, Joe Millard. Despite that big crash in Langer, they're hanging in there and they're fighting. Veldman injured, might be back for the final round, we shall see. Davy Sanders, Willemsen, Dan Foden, nearly in the top 10, that's their objective. Stuart Brown, Josh Chamberlain, not a good season. Well, Rudelsburg it is. They've had the final here before. They've had the final in adverse weather conditions, and that's exactly what we had for days leading up to the event. Torrential rain, which made the track almost unrideable. However, there was a job to do and a championship to be won for Etienne Bax or Kurt Varrick. That's what it came down to in Rudelsburg. Well, after qualifying, the times for the second qualifying session were taken from free practice. The track was in an appalling state, but overnight the club organisers worked relentlessly and tirelessly to make it rideable, and we got race one away. Stuart Brown and Josh Chamberlain fantastically quick, but Etienne Bax did what he had to do and got the whole shot. The rest of the field queuing up, and there was a very, very difficult hill which was actually taken out for the racing because it became unrideable. Marvin Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. Robbie Bax had announced his retirement, so he, among other top-line passengers, will be having his final Grand Prix. Stuart Brown, Josh Chamberlain, despite everything that they hadn't done this year, delivered well here in Rudelsburg, scene of double victory for them in the final race of 2019. There's been chaos all the way around this track, but Stuart Brown seems to have got the hang of it, and he and Josh Chamberlain did an absolutely terrific job. Etienne Bax and Andre Cermak similarly out in front, going well. Then comes the final chasing bunch, Van Lukenen leading the red plate of Kurt Varrick. Then it's Gert van Verven. Difficult to pick the numbers up, there's so much mud flying around here, but these guys are really riding what became something like a one-lane track, really. There was very little future in going offline, because if you get in that glutinous sticky stuff, it can well be game over. Gert van Verven, Ben van den Boogaard following round. Ben van den Boogaard, another passenger who has announced his retirement. Stuart Brown, meanwhile, coming under pressure here from Marvin Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax, letting them through on the inside, quite, well, respectful. That's all I can say about that. Well, Van Lukenen and Brown chasing now, and Gert van Verven closing in, if he possibly can, on the back of Brown, but conditions, as I say, very difficult. There's that single line that we're looking at. Julian Velden and Rodolphe Le Breton in for the weekend. Glenn Janssens having been put out of action with a shoulder injury in Lange, and the word is on the street that he too is another one who's retiring. But 2023 is going to be a very interesting season when it comes to finding passengers capable of doing this job. At this level, there are not many who can go the distance at the pace. Could well command a premium, so put your wages up, boys. Wages? Who mentioned wages? Well, looking into the closing stages here, Koen Hermans looking strong. Julian Velden out of it. Velden out of it on the outside of the bend. So the bike has broken. Certainly stopped, that's for sure. And now Brown fighting off the attentions of Kurt Varick. Varick still with a job to do. Can he muscle his way past Stuart Brown and Josh Chamberlain? This is a battle for third. Varick now has got that advantage over Stuart Brown. So Kurt Varick can see the title slipping away. This will be the last time he will wear the red plate for next race, of course. But Etienne Bax out in front, doing an absolutely brilliant job here. This lightweight Husqvarna, a brand new chassis here in Germany, especially for this occasion. And it served them well. Checkered flag it is, and victory. Maximum points in race one for Etienne Bax and André Cermak. The battle between Van Lukenen and Varick. Well, there's Varick in third place. Van Lukenen there with Justin Kuban, who was a lap down. Here comes Varick to pick up third. Top three. And Brown will make fourth ahead of Gert van Verven. Final race then of the 2022 season in Rudelsburg. Same track conditions, they worked on it between the break. And from that line hard on the right, Stuart Brown and Josh Chamberlain hit the front into the first turn, followed by Etienne Bax, Marvin Van Lukenen. Then it's Brett Wilkinson, Joe Milan. Then it's Julian Velden, and a massive tangle. Who's caught up in that? One or two of the star men will have to be. I'm sure it's very tight. Stuart Brown, Josh Chamberlain. Stuart Brown having celebrated his 50th birthday and his 19th British Championship success just days before this event here in style. Marvin Van Lukenen there, now out in front, having assumed control. Brown and Chamberlain going with them though, every inch of the way. Brown not a man to give up lightly, as we've seen, a dogged, tough, resilient campaigner. But now Etienne Bax, André Cermak have also got the better of the left-hand sidecar. Oh, a bit of a nudge into the back of André Cermak, but he's a tough cookie. Still in third then. Brown and Chamberlain looking very strong here. Are they going to be able to hold it all the way? Julian Velden on his way up through the order. Ahead of him, Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas. Gert van Verven going over the rise there. Koen Hermans, Nicolas Mousset. Number three. They'll be looking for better seasons going forward. This has not been their best. Showboating for Van Lukenen. Checkered flag and victory for them. What an amazing, amazing ride. And it will be overall victory for them as well. But the championship now sits in the hands of Etienne Bax and André Cermak. Here they are, 2022 champions designate, on their way then. Checkered flag is theirs, runner-up spot will do. That is good enough, as they say. Wilkinson fifth, behind Varick. A big cuddle for the boys, and why not? Brilliant. Amazing stuff. Etienne Bax, Andre Cermak. You never ever doubted yourself, Etienne. You've got strong will. You never ever gave up.
I think this is what you need if you want to win a title. You know, you need to fight till the end, always. You need to walk one step faster than the concurrents. You know, and that's, I think, the key of winning championships. But I'm just so happy. You know, we've been through a lot this year with penalties and all those things. I'm so happy we came to this point, and yeah, even was not sure in the night. You know, because I hear rain all the time, rain, rain, rain. I think what's going to happen? You know, will it be racing or will it be no racing? So I'm happy that it ended up like this, and I'm very happy for my friend, you know. He deserved the title a long time already.
I think we're all happy for you as well, Andre. And earlier in the season, I said to you, what would it mean to you to get a title? And you said, I'm not thinking of that. We take it race by race. But what does it mean now you've got it?
Exactly. For me, it was important to focus for all the races separate, and then if I see how it's the work of this team, it's so nice to see how they make the hard job. And if I saw this, that I make also from my side the best what I can do, and in this moment I hold here the red and the first position, the title, and this is the best what I can feel and what I can do. And thanks to all team, to Etienne, he is not normal guy, and I think it's you can see him. He works so hard for this sport.
Yeah, he's inspirational, and I agree with that. I spoke to him earlier, and I said, when you got the whole shot in race one, I could imagine when you both went in, you went, yes! And that was about right.
Yeah, that's what we're screaming in the second corner. Say, yeah!
Well, that's fantastic, because I could sense that emotion, and I know what I would be feeling in that position.
We knew that it was so important, so we prepared all morning the bike to have the best shot on the gate. So we did not even roll the bike.
Carried it in?
We carried the bike to the gate.
I know.
We put duct tape in the fenders, what we take off after the sighting lap, because we did not have a practice. We did all we can. So I want to thank my technical team as well. You know, they're great guys. You know, nothing is too much, and that's so important. So I'm happy.
Well, your whole setup is the most professional in the paddock. Your commitment, your dedication is echoed all the way through the team, and he's caught it as well. It's infectious.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear this, you know, because this is what we want to hear, and this is what we are fighting for. So thank you for the positive news.
Well, many congratulations to both of you, and I look forward to seeing you back in action next year. Don't know about you, you'll tell me one day, won't you?
Yeah, it's amazing, amazing, not normal.
Good luck.
Thank you, thank you very much.
What an amazing year it's been, and that's how it ended up in Etienne Bax, Andre Cermak champions by 4 points from Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas. Worthy runners-up. Marvin van Lukenen, how did he improve? Incredible. Van Verven, Koen Hermans. Quality always comes to the top, and what a season it's been. Hope you've enjoyed it. We can't wait for 2023. Goodness knows what that holds. From me, Barry Nutley, I've had a great time. Join us again next year. We'll do it all over again.
Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukenen certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.